Hello everyone. I hope you all are doing well. Ready for your English class? Yes, today we are going to solve reading comprehension, which is also known as unseen passage. This one that we are going to do now is from page 74 of your Marigold book. Let us begin. Try to recall all the steps of solving a reading comprehension that I have taught you in another video. With a pencil in your hand, let's start reading. Read the following passage and answer the questions that follow. Oliver was a 9-year-old boy. He lived with other homeless boys in an orphanage. He was pale and thin, as were the other boys living there. This was because they had to work hard but were never given enough to eat. The owner of the orphanage, Mr. Bumble, was a cruel man and he ill-treated the boys. This story is about Oliver, who is a 9-year-old boy. He lived with homeless boys in an orphanage. Orphanage is a place where all the homeless boys live. He was pale and these boys were not given enough food. The owner of the orphanage, Mr. Bumble, was a cruel man and he treated these boys badly. Let us continue with the second paragraph. The boys were always hungry. It was true that they were given 3 meals a day, but each meal consisted only of a bowl of watery soup. They were almost starving. So it was decided by them to ask the master for more soup. But who would bell the cat? Finally, the task fell to Oliver. Why do you think were these boys always hungry? Because even though they were given 3 meals a day, they were given only a bowl of watery soup. So they decided to speak to the master. But since the master was cruel, everyone was afraid. So, who would bell the cat? Means, who would initiate? So finally, the task was given to Oliver. Now, the third paragraph. When all the boys had assembled in the cold stone hall for their evening meal, the soup was served. It soon disappeared. The boys whispered to one another, and one boy pushed Oliver a little. Oliver, making a brave effort, stood up, walked to the master with his bowl and spoon in his hand, and said tremblingly, "Please, sir, I want some more." So when the next meal was served to the boys, they finished it quickly and then they pushed Oliver to make a move. So Oliver, with his bowl and spoon in his hand, he went to the master shakingly, tremblingly, and he asked for some more soup. Now, let us discuss the questions and answers. The first one is, why did Oliver live in the orphanage? Oliver lived in the orphanage because he was a homeless boy. Yes. The second question. Who was Mr. Bumble? Mr. Bumble was the owner of the orphanage. The third question. What meals were the boys given? The boys were given watery soup. Question 4. What did Oliver say to Mr. Bumble? Oliver said to Mr. Bumble, "Please, sir, I want some more." Question 5. The boys were given 3 meals a day. Then why were they always hungry? Option 1. Because the soup they were given was never enough. Option 2. Because they worked very hard all day long. Option 3. Because the older boys drank up their soup. The correct answer is option 1. because the soup they were given was never enough. Let us solve the next question. Turn to page number 75. Find the words from the passage that mean the same as. Number 1, very hungry, which is from the second paragraph. Number 2, to vanish, which is from the third paragraph. These questions basically aim at improving your vocabulary. Very hungry means starving, and to vanish means disappeared. Question number 7. All the boys assembled in the cold stone hall. Here the word assembled means. Number 1, moved away. Number 2, collected. Number 3, worked together. The correct answer here is collected. Question number 7 basically deals with contextual meaning. Sometimes the literal meaning of the words are not same as they are used in a particular sentence. So that is known as the contextual meaning, the meaning of something based on the sentence. Question number 8. From the word assembled, remove the last 2 letters, add 1 letter to make a word which means a time at the school when the whole school gathers. Yes, you all got that right. It is assembly. So you just have to write Y in the blank space given. And the last question, question number 9. Give a suitable title to the passage. Now, when you're asked to give a suitable title to the passage, it should be based on the main idea or the central theme of the passage. This passage talks about Oliver and the orphanage that he lived in. So, the most suitable title that we can give to this particular passage is Oliver in Orphanage. However, in this question, if you wish to give any other title, you are free to do so. So, based on the tips and tricks that I gave you to solve reading comprehension, I hope you will be able to solve any of these. That's all for today's class. Take care, you all. Bye-bye.